Hey guys, we're up against Athletic Club today. This time on the road, they are not in very good form. I'm guessing that this is going to be fairly easy for us, but you never know. Might not be as easy as I was expecting. We have sort of the same type of lineup you've seen before in there. Giggs is back in, coming back from his injury. Wow, we're all the way up to third place. How about that? So that's pretty good. We're up there with the Real Madrid PSG, which is where we need to be. And PSG, of course, probably going to be the most difficult match that we have left in the season. Williams back to Vesco over to another Athletic Club player. And let's see if we can get the ball off of them. We're here in yellow, and that was really poor from Pogba pushing down Berenguer, and then protesting that he didn't do it. That was pretty bad. That's a penalty. Penalty is awarded. So we've given them a penalty here in the first 30 seconds of the match. Pogba is young, as I keep saying. He's one of the youngest players in the squad, and Lev Yashin is able to make the save and is able to grab onto it. So they do not score the penalty, and this is why you have Lev Yashin on your side. He almost gives this away and then goes back and jumps at it again to grab it. So it is 0-0 still, and the ball is in the place we want it to be. I think the fact that we're not in red has the players a little bit confused, and certainly has me confused. Here is Williams with the shot for Athletic Club, and that's another good stop by Lev Yashin, and we better hope for something a little bit better than this. Meanwhile, PSG is up 2-0 on Real Sociedad, so they're going to be one of the clubs that we have to really, really worry about and bother with. Law heads this one forward, and that's going to be the end of that highlight. We'll take another look at this here and see sort of what's happened. We have the defenders in the right position, except for Figueroa, who was a little bit behind his guy. And I mean, it wasn't even like a second behind that he was. He was behind like maybe a fraction of a step, which shows you sort of the quality, the level of quality we're dealing with here. Is Mason Mount down to Ronaldo. Ronaldo's going to take this one forward over to Maradona, and wow, his shot is walked out behind the line by the keeper, and so that turns into a penalty. And let's see if Maradona can find somebody, and unfortunately can't find Tresor with it, and that's the end of that. So it was Ronaldo here coming up on the side again, and a beautiful pass over there to Maradona, who I guess was onside, and that was actually deflected off the defender. That's what we didn't see before. And so Lev Yashin, of course, having the big match to date after that big penalty save. It looks like he's going to have to come up with another save here in a second with this corner coming. And no, we're able to head that one away. And let's see if we can't get the ball back and maintain at least some kind of control. And no, we can't. It's Williams Jr. who scores that, Nico Williams. Question is, was he offside or not? And we're pleading with the ref, asking to take a look at VAR, and the goal has been disallowed, so he was offside, and we are saved once again by the bell. Saved by the computers, a little bit more like it, and yeah, I mean, he's clearly offside. He's clearly offside. It wasn't even close. You probably should have been able to see that right away. In fact, the linesman had his flag up. I don't know why we had to go to VAR for that one. That's kind of ridiculous. Pogba gets to this and knocks it forward to nobody, but then there's Mount, who comes from the middle of nowhere over to Maradona to Pogba again. Pogba over to Maradona to Mount. Mount with it, and he's tackled, and we're going to have to see if we can't get back onto this ball here. We have it in a fairly good position. They're playing that little triangle passing game. They make it out of that and turn it into a different kind of formation, but Giggs with it over to Maradona, and boy, that's just deflected by the defender. That was a attempt to sort of do a little mini lob on the keeper by Maradona. You have this feeling that Diego's going to start scoring one of these games, and he's never going to stop. I mean, he's just getting so close and playing so well. He's already at such a high level, and he's young. Then it's Law with the tackle, and is very, very careful to make sure that he doesn't get sent off. And that was an excellent job there by Giggs, and that pass to Maradona was just simply beautiful. And, Maradona, at least in this world, is young and is inexperienced. So we keep playing him at this level and hope that something good will happen and that he'll be able to score. Edwards here with the ball. Gives it up, but Figueroa has it over to Tresor. Tresor to Law. Law. Back to Tresor. Over to Figueroa. Over to Tresor again. It's Edwards back to Figueroa. Tresor. Law. back to Tresor, and back to Figueroa. And we're doing this little dance, and I'm wondering, why is this a highlight? Down to Monseglio, over to Pogba, to Ronaldo. Now we pick up the speed, and here's Mount up to Maradona, who's probably offside, but he scores. That would be a second of the season if it counts. I don't see the flag up, and they're not even going to look for VAR. So it does count. 1-0 for Manchester United, completely against the run of play. And it was Ronaldo here who releases just at the right time Mount who releases just at the right time to Maradona. And I'm surprised they're not looking for a potential offside. Maradona rounds the keeper. Looks like he was born doing that. 1-0 for Manchester United. So we have the lead against the run of play. Here now Maradona with the corner, and it comes up. Figueroa can't quite hit it. And he goes back to Pogba, and I thought there was a defender coming from him. No, it was the ref, and that was Giggs with the shot. Maradona cleans up with the rebound and scores again. 2 goals in the space of, I think, a minute by Maradona. So it's 2-0 for Manchester United. That's what I was just saying, right? Which is that you have a chance that Maradona is just going to suddenly start scoring like crazy, and looks like that may have been sort of what has started here. 2-0 Manchester United, and we're still in the first half, and we're looking pretty good for the time being. But don't count your chickens, if you know what I'm talking about. We have so we're in the 38th minute. Giggs looks like he's needing a breather. He just came off of an injury, and the shot is up and beyond. And Giggs is going to come out here at halftime. I think that's how we're going to handle this. And we'll probably end up putting Best back on. Best didn't have his best game last time out, I'll tell you what. But we'll see what he can do today. And now we just need to somehow get this ball back, as they are passing it around back and forth, and they're doing it quite nicely here. And we would sure like to have a little bit less of this passing the ball around. And now the game, of course, is starting to glitch out for whatever reason. I don't understand what it is that prompts that to happen. It's back for a goal kick. So whatever it is that prompted the glitching has come up again. Maybe the crowd, maybe some kind of detail. I don't know. I mean, I know what the solution is. The solution is, hey, chump, get a new computer. So we're going to have to work a little bit harder on that and see if we can find out a way to afford that in the future. And Giggs has probably got himself sent off for that tackle. He has. And so much for Ryan Giggs, and so much for our strategy. So Giggs comes off. What we're going to do here is, no. There we go. We want Pogba to go over there. And now we're going to put Best on. So Best, you're going to play in this role. And there we go. So there's Best with the throw. We're down to 10 men. Edwards to Figueroa, up to Mount. We were going to take Giggs off anyway, but now we only have one Segundo Volante, so we'll see if that makes a difference or not. Monseglio tries to bring it up himself and has the ball just taken away right away. Figueroa knocks this one forward, and it's taken away again and intercepted. And I'm a little bit worried here as Levi Yashin makes that save. A little bit worried here about the second half, since the game is already spazzing out like it's having a seizure. Okay, so you're doing brilliantly. Keep going is what we're going to say, and I do believe in that. However, Dennis Law is not having a very brilliant match, and so what do you do when he's not playing well? You go to the pen and you go get Pele. Maradona brings this up, and the glitching stopped. Over to Pele now. Pele, back to Best, up to Pele again. And that is, he's called for offside. I'm not so sure about that call. I think that was a little bit wishful thinking, but there's no replay, no way for us to check up on that. So we are back on the defensive once again, and let's see if we can do something to get this ball back before a shot comes off, and Tresor is able to knock it back, but not quite far enough. And that's the way this is. Every single match is like this, where you're a little bit concerned about, what's going to happen, and can we prevent there from being a shot? Levi Yashin ends up grabbing that ball, as we were not called for a penalty that we probably should have been. Edwards now over to Mount, to Maradona, back to Mount, and that's taken away. And this is Williams who's in there, and he misses it. But it's Williams Jr., Nico Williams Jr., who ends up scoring the goal as he just stood right in front of the net and waited for the shot. So we were caught napping there, and that was a real poor job by the defense. That really was a poor job here by the defense, who are not in the correct position at all. And they're just sort of jogging lightly over there instead of trying to get in front of the guy who's clearly standing right where the ball is going to come. Questions of offside, not really. I mean, maybe. But yeah, this is pretty poor from whoever it is over there. I think it's Monseglio who made the mistake, and he will come off. We're just going to go ahead and make that change right away, and we'll put Bauer on for him. It's been kind of a defense by committee. We were trying to get a older South Korean defenseman, center back that is, to come in, but we have not quite been able to, as we haven't had enough money. 2-1 here for Manchester United, and Ronaldo now is injured, which is a problem, so we have to put Sancho on, and so we will put him on, and I think that's our final substitution. So we've had injuries, we've had a red card. That was a straight red, by the way, on Giggs, which shows you how poor that tackle was, and we're having all sorts of problems here. Here's Best. We're down to 10 men. To Pele. Pele's wide open. He takes the shot and scores. It's number 4 of the season. You can't leave him open like that. I think that Pele's problem is that teams have been trying to focus on him and trying to press him, and he's had a hard time with it. But, I mean, you give him this much space, you just can't do that. There's no way. He's going to find a way to score. He finds a way to score easily. It doesn't take him much time. 3-1 now for Manchester United, so much for this being a close match. Now, we'll see what happens. They have proven themselves capable of scoring. Here's another header. It's Maradona who's going to take it. Knocks this forward and ends up being grabbed by their keeper. And so we'll see what happens next. And we have our one of the shadow strikers sort of does a little moonwalk right in front of the keeper, trying to confuse him a little bit, but it doesn't work. You always kind of hope they'll get one of those glitches where the keeper knocks it right at the guy in front of him. And there's the pass over to Iñaki Williams, and that's the second goal for Athletic Club. And so now the lead is down to 1. We better hurry it up and make sure that we can win this if we want to have a chance of staying relevant here in the league, because we are currently, I think, in second position. But it might not be quite as good after we gave up that goal and they have come back again. We need to demand some more from this club. We should be playing better than this. And that's popped up. Figueroa heads it, but only as far as Williams Jr. And there's the shot, and Leviashin with the save. Bauer knocks that out for a corner, so the pressure remains. I mean, we haven't even barely touched the ball here, right? They scored the second with 10 minutes to go. That last highlight was with 7 minutes to go, so it wasn't a huge difference. Maradona there to Tresor, over to Edwards. Edwards down to Best over, and I'm not sure what he's trying to do or who he's trying to cross that one over to. It ends up being crossed straight over to their keeper. Bauer goes over and wins this one over to Best. Best all the way over to Sancho, and he finds Mount. Here's Mason Mount. Back to Sancho, who's got plenty of space, and he'll walk this one up, takes a shot, and it ends up being hit right at the keeper. 6 minutes of added time. This is like watching the World Cup. So 6 minutes of added time, as if this hasn't been long enough. We have 6 more minutes of graphical glitching. I've told you this before. I'll tell you this again. Don't go buy a MacBook anything, or not a MacBook. This is an iMac. But don't buy any computer like this, because you'll find yourself in this position where the thing is kind of old and you can't replace it. Here's Best now with the interception and takes a shot that's deflected. Sancho tries to knock it back in and then tries to go back and get the ball again. Is unable to do so. And here's Best with a throw over to Maradona to Tresor. And Tresor just gives up possession like there's nothing to it. Bauer to Figueroa. So, I mean, we have these defenders really, really need some help in the back. Best with it now. I don't know if it's necessarily the problem is the tactic, or is just that these guys are young. Pele with the cross, looking for Mount, can't get it to him, and kind of a quiet game from Mount. Maradona passes to Pele, who was a little bit too sheepish there. Kind of odd, because he came on at halftime. He should have plenty of energy. Here's Mount now, and here comes Pele. There's the pass over to him, and there's the goal. I think he was offside. We'll take a look at what VAR has to say about it. And here comes the result. It is disallowed. Yeah, I thought he was offside. It looked like he was offside. And so Pele having a hard time scoring here. It's that darn offside rule, isn't it? And, I mean, he's clearly offside. He's offside by about 2 people. Pele does a good job getting in that position, but that's not the position that you're supposed to be in. And here's Figueroa going back and cleaning up the mess, making sure it's not going to end up a draw. Bauer to Edwards to Sancho. Back to Bauer. And so we'll cool it down a little bit to Edwards, back to Bauer. Maradona has his forward for Mount. And Mount just not quite enough energy with him. There's Bauer, and he knocks his forward again, and that's going to be it. So that's the end. We're going to end up in second position, I believe, in the our division of the league after this. They had an XG of 3.23. We only had a 1.38. Possession clear of 50, or even at 50%. It was Levi Yashin who really is the player of the match. We had the better average rating, which I guess is counts for something, even though we had a guy sent off for a red card. So there you have it. We managed to win, and we really, really snuck away from this. I would say that we probably FM'd them. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.